we're gonna try this again. It said I had a low network connection, so if anybody pops on here, let me know if you can see me, hear me, both, neither, all of the above. So right now, well, Abby told me it's like 90 degrees out. I don't know if that's the case, but it's beautiful out. So you might be wondering if you've been in the office and you know, oh hey, she's at a really weird spot right now. It's because I am. I'm like sitting on the rocks, but the alternative is rabbit poop, like 2 feet that way. So I'm gonna hang out here and enjoy the sunshine, which is exactly what I did last night with Michael. So we've got a little fire pit in our yard, and so he and I and our 2 doggos were outside enjoying some bonfire, some conversation, some drinks, and we had the radio going, and heard a commercial for the United Blood Services, and it got me thinking, if you went to college in Fargo-Moorhead, something it seems like that everybody and their mother, well, not their mothers, but that everybody does is they donate plasma. Because of course everybody needs more money for books in college, right? That's what we all spent it on, was books and things to further our education. So everybody that I know donated plasma in college, myself included. So my first experience with donating anything like that was actually in high school. The United Blood Services came to the Legion in Groton, and I remember the school opened it up to seniors to participate. Do you have to be 18 to donate blood? I don't actually know. So I remember, first of all, I was excited because I got out of school for a little bit, and then second of all, I knew that my mom donated blood often, and so I thought it was a really commendable thing to do, and I know that it's needed. So I went to donate blood, and they do some tests, if you're not familiar, to make sure that you are able to give blood. And one of the tests being they check your hemoglobin, which is the part of your blood that carries oxygen, and they do that by measuring iron, and my iron was low. So both times that I don't want to say ditch school to go give blood, but that I left school to go give blood, I wasn't able to. Well, then I come to college and find out to donate plasma, they do similar tests. You need to have your levels at within a certain range. So I donated plasma throughout college, going to NDSU, and actually even in chiropractic school, I found a plasma center in the cities. About maybe 30% of the time, half of the time, I wasn't able to donate blood because I didn't have enough iron. Alright, so had always like filled in my parents like, oh, I was able to donate today, or nope, couldn't do it today. And so when I was at NDSU, I took the cheater's way out, and I was like, okay, I'll take iron pills, that'll boost up my iron. Same thing, it helped some of the time, sometimes it didn't. And I don't mean help as in like it fixed anything. God, that semi's loud. That's what I get for being outside. Some of the time I wouldn't be able to donate because my iron was too low. Well, then I get to chiropractic school and I realize that I'm going about it the wrong way. So then I start to dig into nutrition a little bit. And this is like before I like really got interested in nutrition. So yes, I was that person who ate, this is even gross to say it out loud, even though I know a lot of people like it. I ate liver because there's a ton of iron in liver. I cooked it in milk. It really didn't help. I thought it was still terrible. A ton of spinach and a ton of fish. And so same thing. Sometimes it helped, sometimes it didn't. And so here again, I had always filled in my parents, like if I was able to donate that day or not. And my mom actually one day decided that she was going to check in because she knew, or she thought that she remembered writing in my baby book that I had some sort of blood deficiency, blood condition, blood something when I was born. But it had never really given me any grief or caused me any problems. There was no reason to worry about it. So my parents lost their home in a fire 5 years ago, and so obviously I don't have a baby book anymore. And so my mom had called the hospital to try to figure out what this condition or disease or whatever it is, what it was. And in that time frame, since I was born to now, you can imagine that things have switched a little bit with their health keeping records. So they'd switched from paper, they've switched to electronic, they've switched softwares, all this stuff. So they literally had to go into the basement and find out what this was. And just scribbled somewhere nonchalantly was this word, and it's thalassemia. And so I'm not even going to tell you full on what this is, because I don't really even fully understand myself. I do understand, but it doesn't have any implications really on my life. So thalassemia means the hemoglobin, the part of the part of your blood that carries the oxygen. Mine is abnormal for whatever reason, and I think there's different forms of thalassemia. So anyways, Michael and I, when we were sitting around the fire, I was asking Michael if he'd ever donated blood, and he said no. And I said that I'd never actually been able to successfully donate blood either, but I donated plasma before. And it got me thinking, really how the iron, the indicator that they're looking for to see if I was healthy enough to donate blood, was really a terrible indication. Maybe I ate a ton of liver the night before, maybe I ate some spinach, maybe I ate fish, and that elevated my levels. And I think that we as a society get really hung up on a lot of numbers. We actually had a mama who had a re-exam earlier this week with 2 of her little kids. And youngest one is, oh gosh, she's coming up on a year. Okay, less than a year, maybe close. And she was concerned because she was in a lower percentile for her height. She's not vertically growing, okay? Baby is wonderfully healthy. She is well taken care of. She gets adjusted regularly. They eat real food. There's a lot of playtime, not a lot of electronics. This is a healthy kid. But by the pediatrician standards, by someone else's chart standards, she's not where she needs to be. All right, and we get hung up. Or we go the opposite route and take, for instance, blood pressure. A lot of people associate high blood pressure to be greater than 120/80, which is true, but I'm gonna challenge you this way. Everything that we do, every decision we make, action, all of it, we're either going closer to health or further away from it. And so if our health is if our blood pressure is at 120/80, it's not that we're good. It's not that we fall within a certain category, so all of a sudden, or magically, we're healthy. We are already tottering further away from health. So, if you have high blood pressure and you take a medicine to manage it to get you within that 120/80, more than likely there is something else at play. Something else at play being the master controller of your entire body. And what is that? Guesses? I'll tell you. It's the nervous system. Chiropractic is all about the nervous system, which is really cool. So in our office, yes, we take your blood pressure because it's something to track, but it's all relative, right? If you start out in the office and you've got 130/95, and then the next one you're at 120/80, still not where we'd like it to be, but we're improving. Am I saying chiropractic fixes high blood pressure? Absolutely not. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's an indicator of how your body's working. The other tests that we do, however, tell us more about how your body's working. So instead of, we also take weight every time we have a new patient or a progress check. Not because we're interested in your BMI. Yes, it's important to know where you're sitting at, but it's all relative. It is all relative. So if I have low iron or low hemoglobin or abnormal hemoglobin or whatever, it's not affecting me for right now. And I'm not saying that it's not something I don't need to look into, but I'm active, I get adjusted, I sleep at night, I drink water, I eat real food, so I'm taking care of myself in other ways. This is the same thing with pain, why a lot of times I don't want to say that we're not interested in it, but because it's not a good measure of how our body's working, it is relative. There is no way for us to measure as an objective, I don't want to say third party because we're not involving someone else, as an objective second party to tell you that yes, that's your pain, no, that's not your pain, oh, that's pins and needles versus burning versus sharp. numbers are just numbers, and it's really easy to get hung up on them. So especially, it seems like in the weight journey, people get really fixated on that. And I actually, I was that person for a long time, even into high school. I was that person that was like, ooh, what do I weigh this week? Oh, shoot, it's still not where I want to be. You want to know what? I would way rather measure my body based on how I feel and the way that I'm able to do the things that I want. All right? Am I where I should be? No, I'm sure that I have a high BMI for my age, height, weight, whatever the heck they take into consideration for that. But I know that my nervous system, the controller of it all, is well taken care of thanks to Dr. T at Healing Touch Chiropractic. So if you have some of those indicators that are less than awesome, or if you have indicators that are awesome, and you're curious, really curious about how your body's working, give us a call. We can help. It's really cool information to have. So hook us up, hook you up. We can hook you up, whatever. Goodbye.